Come on, Karen. If this is where you belong, then what are you waiting for? Let's see what you got. Yeah, there you go. That's it, sweet cheeks. You know, I'm paying some good money here, huh? So let's see some dancing. Yeah, take those off. Yeah, that's it. Just keep it going. Just like that.
You like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, what man wouldn't? It's not a problem, is it?
Not for me.
Well, I didn't think so. Because after all, you did say that this is the real you.
And you didn't believe me.
Well, I'm just...
Years of my life just gone. Just wiped out of my memory. There's gotta be some way to get it back. The news. Yeah. This should trigger something. Allison Barrington. Livy says I broke your heart when I left you for her, and then you got even by killing her father. Is that true? Got something about it just didn't seem right. There's something missing.
I object, Your Honor. This is nothing but a cheap ploy by the defense, a pathetic attempt to establish reasonable doubt by incriminating two innocent people.
Ms. Jensen.
Dr. Thornhart and Mrs. Collins are not suspects here. They're not on trial.
Kate, how could you do this? Ian and Lucy are my friends.
I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't. You're not doing anything anymore because you're fired.
Order. This court will come to order.
What on earth is going on?
This hearing has turned into a three-ring circus with Allison's lawyer as the ringmaster.
Your Honor, please, I would like you and this courtroom to know that I do not agree with the accusations that my lawyer is making, and as of right now, you are dismissed.
I'm sorry, Miss Barrington. I cannot allow you to discharge counsel in the middle of a hearing.
But, Your Honor, she's trying to blame Lucy and Ian, and they haven't done anything.
Miss Barrington, what you do after court is adjourned is up to you. Right now, we'll get on with these proceedings without any further interruptions. If this was a jury trial, I'd be holding half this room in contempt. But this is not a trial. This is a preliminary hearing, the sole purpose of which is to hear evidence, to determine if there is enough to hold this defendant over for the murder of Kevin Collins. And I mean to hear all of it, from both sides. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense will proceed. But I warn you, Ms. Reynolds, don't push it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mrs. Collins, back to my question. Did you and Dr. Thornhart have an affair?
No, I did not have an affair with Ian Thornhart.
Then let me be a little more explicit. Did you and Dr. Thornhart have sex? Mrs. Collins, answer the question, and I remind you that you are under oath. Did you and Dr. Thornhart have sex?
Yes.
puzzle. Seems like it should all fit together. Seems like it should all be connected in my mind. But it's not. Doesn't make any sense. You know, if I could get a clue here, that would be good. Okay. Who am I talking to? Why do I keep looking up there? I think the clouds are gonna give me some kind of answers or something. Huh? Are you? Oh, okay, I'm crazy. Something about it feels right, though. It just feels familiar. Okay, and then there's this candle. Why does it seem so important?
So it's true, you and Dr. Thornhart are lovers.
No, it happened one time before I was married. And Kevin, who I love very, very much, who I never stopped loving, forgave me. Maybe he shouldn't have, but he did. And so we got married, and we have lived very happily ever since. And since that day, Ian and I have just been friends, that's all.
Very good friends, it would seem.
What is that supposed to mean?
Dr. Thornhart moved in with you right after your husband disappeared, didn't he?
I object. Irrelevant.
Overruled. You may answer.
Ian was in Ireland, and I called him because I was very worried. I was having
Just
strange...
answer the question. Did Dr. Thornhart move in with you right after your husband disappeared? Yes,
Yes,
or no?
he did, but I can explain why.
Dr. Thornhart's wife, she died recently, didn't she?
What are you doing? Are you trying to insinuate that maybe we had something to do with her death?
I am merely trying to understand the circumstances surrounding your husband's disappearance.
I know exactly what you are trying to do. My husband's disappearance has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I am good friends with Dr. Ian Thornhart.
Mrs. Collins.
What? You know what? This is crazy. Why would I come to a hearing, a defense hearing? I volunteered to testify for the defense. Why would I do that if I had done something as ridiculous as she is trying to make it sound? And every single person in here knows I've come to them and said, my husband is still alive. I'm desperately trying to convince everybody as such.
Mrs. Collins, if you can't control these outbursts...
Why don't you control her? Don't you understand what she's doing? She doesn't care about the truth, do you? I've seen your kind before. You want to dig up any dirt you can on anybody and smear their reputation through the dirt as much as you can because you want to win. You don't care about helping Allison here. You care about your career and your big, self-indulgent, inflated ego, don't you, Kate?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. I have a lot of questions for you, as a matter of fact.
That will be all, Mrs. Collins. You may step down.
No, I want you to take care of her and let her explain herself.
I said step down, or I will have no choice but to have you forcibly removed.
Fine. Okay? Fine.
It's okay. None of it matters.
Ms. Jensen, are there any other witnesses you'd like to call?
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Olivia Locke.
So when do the lies start?
As soon as she opens her mouth. You do solemnly state that the testimony you shall give this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Miss Locke, you are the daughter of the victim, Dr. Collins, is that correct?
Yes.
And the defendant, Miss Barrington, was at one time your best friend, right?
Yes, she was. But that was before she murdered my father.
Summer is one of my favorites.
you doing? Let go of me! Let go of me, Ricky! Ricky, let go of me! Let go of me!
This is it. This is near where Libby found me. What is this place? What was they drawn here?
Tell us, Miss Locke, what happened between you and Miss Barrington?
Well, like I said, she was my best friend. She was like a sister to me.
And what changed that?
It all started when she met this guy, Rafe. She fell head over heels in love with him.
Go on.
And then he left her. And that's when Allison just sort of snapped.
Snapped?
It's like she became this totally different person who just went her own way.
And you two started to grow apart?
Yeah, I didn't want to. I did everything I could to try and reach her. I was so worried about her.
What exactly worried you?
Lots of things. Like, she was completely obsessed with the past. She kept talking about this great-great-great-grandmother of hers, Rebecca, who was a convicted murderer right here in Port
Objection.
Charles.
Witness is trying to establish a connection that has no bearing on...
Just answer the question that's put to you, Miss Locke.
Sorry.
What else was Allison doing at that time?
Well, she opened a candle shop because that's what Rebecca had done, and she started dabbling in witchcraft because Rebecca did that too.
Objection. Conjecture and relevance.
Your Honor, I'm trying to get to how this plays into the disappearance of the victim. If you will just please bear with me.
Hurry and get to the point, Ms. Jensen.
Miss Locke, tell us how your father, Dr. Collins, ended up being at the defendant's candle shop that fateful night.
Well, as I mentioned, Allison's obsession, especially with all this dark stuff, it had really started to scare me.
So what did you do?
I tried talking to her again, but she wouldn't listen. She was already too far gone. So then I turned to my dad. And it is all my fault he went out there to begin with.
Why would you say that?
He knew how concerned I was. Because of all the dangerous stuff she was fooling with. He wanted to protect me.
And not just you. There had been an incident with a poisoned candle.
Yes. And he was worried that more people were going to get hurt. And the truth is, I think he was even a little afraid for himself going out there that night.
Afraid of Allison?
He knew that she was really disturbed. And he wasn't sure what she was capable of, especially if crossed. And I begged him not to go out there. I pleaded. I even asked him to bring a gun with him.
A gun? You really thought that was necessary?
Well, like I said, she wasn't the person I knew anymore. She was all mixed up in black magic and evil things. I didn't put anything past her.
So he insisted on going out there, unarmed?
Yes.
That's a lie! This is all
Barrington.
lies! What are you doing?
Ms. Reynolds, you will get your client under control.
Because you killed my father, Allison. Look, Lucy, I'm sorry. I know you don't believe he's
This court will come to order.
But look at what she's doing. The only way even her own lawyer can try and defend her is by pinning the blame on someone else. On you, Lucy.
Libby, you're wrong.
Please don't fall for her act. She'll do or say anything to get herself off. She is not your friend.
Miss Locke,
She's
that
a
is
killer.
enough.
Nothing but a cold-blooded killer.
I said that is enough.
If I may approach the bench.
No, you may not. I've heard all I need to. These proceedings are adjourned pending my ruling.
Put me down,
damn it, Ricky! Put me down!
You promise you'll get out of here and you'll never come back?
I promise if you don't put me down this instant, I'm gonna scream bloody murder!
Fine. I'm still not leaving you here.
You're a real jerk, you know that?
Wait a minute.
What now, okay? I'm leaving, isn't that what you wanted?
Just answer one question.
I don't have to answer anything. Who the hell do you think you are anyway?
I'm a friend, Karen. I'm someone who cares about you. What was this all about, huh? Why come back to this hole? What were you trying to prove?
Why I'm here is my business.
That whacked-out boyfriend of yours.
You're crazy.
Karen, you are letting him get to you. You're starting to believe all his garbage, that you're still the same person who used to work here.
So what if it's true, huh? What if I do believe it? Maybe it's because it is true.
No. That is not who you are. Okay, that person, that girl who used to work here, she doesn't exist anymore. She's gone. And she's not coming back, not ever.
Please, Ricky, what do I have to do to make you wise up? People don't change, all right?
Karen?
You know what? Do you want to see the real me? This is the real me, Ricky. Do you want to see more? Do you want to see what a girl like me can really do?
No. Stop it, Karen! Stop it!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll take you home, okay?
Some clue to what I was doing here. Allison.
Be seated.
It's always been my belief that an overwhelming amount of evidence is needed to justify the time and expense of a murder trial when no actual body is found. In this case, we have the victim's blood found at the defendant's shop. We have witnesses who've placed him there at the time of his disappearance, and most importantly, motive has been established. All this, in my mind, is more than enough evidence to hold Allison Barrington over for the murder of Kevin Collins.
How can there possibly be overwhelming evidence? Doc is not dead. He's alive and he's out there waiting for us to find him. I can feel it. I know it. I can feel it.
Lucy! Help! Where am I? Where am I? Stay tuned for scenes from the next Port Charles. Superstition.
Next, Port Charles.
This rose means something to me.
You laced the candles.
Really?
Yeah, really. You told me.
You were hallucinating at the time, remember, Jack?
Welcome to my world, Dr. Collins.
Am I dead?
Will David invade Dixie's funeral service? Watch what happens today on All My Children.